I apologize, it's not exactly easy to read here, but this is Shamar Stewart right there. Now, the blue number at 22 for bench, I just threw in the average. That's the average. So that way I could actually fill out the rest of this sheet. Here's what I want to point out. This number right here, 1.10, that is an elite score for the APE index. That means that not only is he really long in the wingspan, but he also has really long arms. And his wingspan is way bigger, way longer than his height. So 84 3/4 inches, and he's 77 inches tall. That's huge. So he has an elite wingspan or an elite APE score, which in my opinion, this is something that is not talked about enough, at least by any analyst that I've ever listened to. And this is something that I've been paying attention to for years. Because if you do have shorter arms, you need to have a better APE index so that you can get long, right? That long stab or whatever that you're doing on the end to be able to keep these bigger tackles off of you. So the purple are elite scores. So he's elite in the APE index, elite in the vert, elite in the broad. Well, these two numbers here tell me not only does he have quick pop off the line, but he also has good, short area bursting quickness. His lateral agility is going to be really good. His 10-yard split, solid. And I pay attention more to this number than I do the 40. The 40 is great, but it's this number, the 3-cone, and how you're kind of moving around those cones, the bend in the hoop drill. And he did all of those things great. I highlighted a video the other day with it. So in my opinion, when you look at where his numbers are, over to the right here, he's a 40. And I apologize, it's hard to see. This maxes out at a 50, right? So it's really hard to get above a 40. He's got the highest grade of all edge rushers right now in this draft. He has the highest grade. Now I'm going to finish this list today, get it all caught up with the rest of the pro days, but I haven't seen anyone else come close to a 40. The only other ones is Landon Jackson, James Pierce, Donovan Ezeraku, and Sean Martin. Believe it or not, Sean Martin, nobody knows who Sean Martin is, right?
I've never heard that name.
Right. And I have him possibly going in the second round for an unknown guy because his measurables and everything else are so elite. And I did watch some tape on it and I love it. But we'll see. That's all going to change, when we get into the final days of doing the mocks. But so what did Mr. Tim Twentyman say? And then we'll jump into the chat. Eric, of course, if you see anything, go ahead and just let me know. But
yeah,
right now, Tim Twentyman said this. Shamar Stewart, position edge, Texas A&M, 6'5", 267, 4'5", 40. He did not do the bench. That's why I can't find it. 40 inches, vert, 10 foot, 11 in the broad. 3-cone did not do it. 20-yard did not do it. So I know that I'm not failing to find information. Nobody can find it. He didn't do it. And that's why I've asked, I'm glad that I've got this nice little connection with Mr. Scorton because he's able to give me some information that I wouldn't otherwise have. I just can't share it all, right? So how does he fit? This is what Tim Twentyman said. Stewart is kind of long. He's not kind of, he is long. Athletic defensive end. The Lions like along the edge of their defense. He's got a terrific length and his athletic traits really jumped out at the combine, specifically the explosion that he showed with the 40-inch vertical. His sack production wasn't what teams typically like to see from a first-round edge player, 4.5 sacks in 3 seasons. But watch the tape, and you'll see how he affects the passer a ton. Now, I'm reading this for the first time this morning. This came out at 7 o'clock. Yeah, 7 o'clock this morning. So I haven't read this yet. Similar minds, right? Similar minds. He sets a good edge in the run game, which is a prerequisite to get on the field in Dan Campbell's defense. Hello? Yes. Right? That's why Marcus Davenport is there. Overall, his body type, athletic traits, and upside would fit the Lions as a rotational. What is that noise? We keep getting some weird noise coming through. You didn't hear it? Yeah.
No.
We got a crazy storm going on, so I don't know what's going on, honestly.
Oh.
His sack production wasn't what teams. No, let me skip over that. We just went over that. Overall, his body type, athletic traits, and upside would fit the Lions as a rotational and depth piece up front with the opportunity to turn into a quality starter on the edge. He also has some experience bumping inside, which the Lions value with their defensive linemen. Key observations. Stewart's 88.2 run defense grade in 24 ranked 5th among all edge defenders. That is also a prerequisite to be a Detroit Lion is you have to be great against the run at every position. They do not want to let teams run on them. They want to make teams more one-dimensional. Only Marshall's Mike Green posted a higher mark at 90.2 among projected first-rounders anyway. Stewart logged just 106 true pass sets last season, ranking 74th in the draft class, which could explain some of his lack of production. That's also another great evaluation here by Tim Twentyman to see their observation, excuse me. What they had to say about him, quote, Stewart explodes out of his stance and is capable of creating immediate knockback or winning high side with upfield burst and flexibility. He is the type of prospect who will test the traits over production slogan to which many teams subscribe to, as he has never had more than 1.5 sacks in any of his 3 seasons. Quote, however, his tape shows a far more disruptive player than his numbers suggest. He led the Aggies in pressures, 39 in 2024, end quote by Dane Brugler. So all of this, what it points to me, and there's a lot more in this. I'll go ahead and post this in the chat so you guys can read it later. And obviously, big shout out to Tim Twentyman for putting in the work today. Obviously, we love to highlight people that do great work, and he obviously does excellent work. I think what all of this points to is you cannot let stats sell you on everything. You guys know I'm a stat junkie, right? I'm an analytical junkie. That's what I do. But I think that I've been very transparent in that you've got the tape, right? You have the stats, the analytics, the metrics, all that stuff, the KPIs. And then you also have your eye test above and beyond the tape, right? You got to see what these guys do. That's why I go to the combine. And that's why, to me, it's important. Next year, I'll go to pro days. I just don't have the time to do it this year. That's the plan. So I can get there and see these guys up close and personal, get some interviews, and get to understand and know these guys a little bit better. Every year we are graduating on this channel and getting a little bit more opportunity than the year before. I mean, being able to speak with, what is a potential first round draft pick's father, that's huge. I haven't seen anybody else do any interviews like that. And to be able to learn not only about that player, but 2 or 3 other players on that team is invaluable information that helps us understand who these guys are. And I think that what Tim said here is perfect. Like, you can't settle on the stats. You have to watch the tape and see how disruptive he was. The one stat that he pointed out, that he wasn't in on all of the passing plays, does mean that he didn't have an opportunity to rush the passer all the time. He was in on more rundowns. And it's not a problem, right? That just means that his game is more well-defined against the run. I will also say, on this defense, for the Detroit Lions, do we need another sack champion? Really? Do we need another sack champion right now? If they all go to Aiden, who cares? Like Eric said, it doesn't matter. I want to see him get spread out. I'd rather see everybody getting 6 sacks a year and Aiden maybe gets a dozen or 10. That's a successful season. Last year, I think the Lions had, 37 or 39 sacks through the regular season. They finished middle of the pack. And the team that won the Super Bowl also finished at the middle of the pack with 41. So sacks don't win championships. They don't. It helps you at certain times in a football game. But if you can shut down the run, if you can get long and keep guys bottled in, that's going to mean more day in and day out in a game than getting a sack on a meaningless down potential, right? Or getting 3 or 4 sacks in a game against a terrible offensive line.